Oh wow, I'm actually going to be bumping heads with some people. But on an interesting note, notice this wasn't here yesterday when I used I didn't use Hangouts yesterday, so I guess it's been a little bit since I've used it. But an interesting note, since I last used Hangouts, here's a notification I have in my Hangouts. This Hangout on air is live, which, it's usually the normal notification we get for it. Hangouts on air is going away later this year. For quick streaming, try youtube.com webcam. Imagine that, YouTube. I guess they're getting tired of coming on here using Hangouts service and be able to invite people on, which is kind of the goal for tonight. Don't think it's going to happen. I've sent links out, invitations out. I've got no response. It's the typical thing. Some of it was on my scheduling part. Kind of scheduled it wrong. But hey, it just goes to show they're going to do anything and try everything to get us to stop doing these things. Eventually, yeah, they're probably going to force us all off YouTube. Many of us have been saying that for a while with their, YouTube TV premium stuff. It's all part of the big scam, the big game they want to play. Quite frankly, I'm getting sick of it. Been sick of it. It's the reason why I'm doing this on each platform that I can stream to. Focusing on this group of people over here. Yesterday I did it from the mines, which you guys actually got to participate in as well, since the gathering actually connects for a live stream. To do a live stream, you connect to YouTube, so you guys got to enjoy something different. But tonight's topic is going to be the same old topic. We're going to be on this topic for probably next couple weeks, because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do this week. I've got a lot of stuff I got to take care of this week. I've already had one person did get with me, so they can't. They want to, but they can't because they got a conference meeting they got to attend to, and I respect that. At least we know we had one person. The invitation's still out there. I'll check here in a little bit. So this could be a short one, but like I said, lo and behold, pop Hangouts. What do I find? This little blue notification. In fact, let me blow this up and print screen so you guys can actually see what I'm looking at. Hopefully it prints the right screen. I'm using dual monitors right now, so. Yep. Oh, it did print both screens. But as you can see, that's the notification I got with Hangouts. And I think we've all come to understand the importance of the Hangouts and what it offered us. It offered us the ability to bring people in, other people to come right into your quick, easy. Now they want us to use YouTube webcam. I played with that a little bit when they first brought it out. Wasn't impressed. It has its uses, but for what I do, it doesn't. Which will force me to have to use Streamlabs OBS, which means more than likely I will be done, because I don't have the connection to be able to do that. I'm struggling with DLive right now, and it's worse when I have to come over here to YouTube, so. But it is interesting. They want to do away with this. I'm willing to bet we'll still keep Hangouts from Google or from Gmail, because that's their messenger program, which, those of us that know how to use OBS, Streamlabs, XSplit, we know we can. Well, I can't say that with Streamlabs. I haven't been able to figure out on Streamlabs how to actually, because in OBS you could actually open up and sign in and stuff. I haven't been able to figure that out on the Streamlabs OBS yet. It doesn't give you an option to be able to interact with the browser or app that you're putting in there. So maybe somebody knows how to do that and shoot me a message and let me know. I mean, I've looked, I haven't found nothing yet. I've been through the Streamlabs blogs, so it just might not be an option. But for me, using OBS isn't an option, so it just don't work. And then I can see I'm having issues right now. And some of that might be because of the weather. But like I said, we'll give it a few. I still haven't shared the links yet, guys. Like I said, I'm still getting back in the game. I'm rusty. But they get rid of the on-air part. Like I said, I've already got a workaround on that. I'll just go over to my group and use the gathering, which will allow me to do what I do on Hangouts. So there's a loophole almost everywhere. You just got to find it, be able to utilize it. And of course, then there's always that question: did anybody get my notifications that I'm live? That's always an issue on YouTube. Another part of them controlling content, controlling what gets put out there. Let me just slide over here to Twitter real quick. Make sure I don't got no messages. I mean, if we get a few people join the stream, I might just do like I've done in the past and post it in chat. Although I've had issues doing that. It seems that when you start doing that, that's when all of a sudden people want to come to your stream, and yeah, I've had to take down a video. I think it was last year's 4th of July we did that stream, and I had to go outside take care of something, and yeah, you had the pervs come in. I was the first time I've ever had to take down a video. Let me slide over to the mines real quick. Make sure I don't got no messages over there. And I am actually enjoying having this dual monitor set up now, because now I don't have to worry about what pops up on my screen or when I want to go to the mines, because as I said, I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about having parental controls put on my computer. I don't block adult content. But it is just one of those things. You gotta somewhat play by the rules, but at the same time, you gotta know when enough's enough. Like I said, my issue is I'm watching the same thing happened way back on Ning when everybody was beta testing the Ning platforms, where the censorship was being beta tested. There's what I mean. And it's a few of the other smaller platforms as well. It got to the point where people just started leaving Ning, going to Spurts, going to the other smaller ones, and the same thing started happening there. That's what you guys don't get. If you don't take a stand, and we've seen it happen here on YouTube, where people have actually stood up, got people to come and just bombard YouTube with, "Why'd you take this down?" And we've seen the people get their channels back. We've seen people get their videos back. It should never come to that to begin with. I mean, most of last year and the year before that, you guys know I'm not a fan of the cryptocurrency. I'm not a fan of those sites. Am I on a couple? Yes. For reasons, it's a tool. I don't have to mess with the cryptocurrency aspect of it. I'm not there for that. I'm there for reaching a different audience. But last night I was updating my group a little bit. Greetings, Mr. A. And I got nailed for jury duty. And some of you guys probably don't even know what that is. I've kind of mentioned it when I was going over their little terms of services. It's a way I put in place to keep from suspending people removing content. I mean, you have your basic appeal section like they do here on YouTube, but they take it one step farther to the point where they're not trying to remove your content, suspend it. If you appeal it, it eventually gets to the part that the Minds group can't make a decision or go to a jury. People, you got to be active on there to get that, which shocked me. I'm not that active over there. But it was a content based on a journalist, a legit journalist, by the way, about how he was doing things on a black man that was wrongly convicted. Yeah, on the Minds, they do censor. We tried to tell everybody that. And basically, I had to review this content. And what it was being, the option that was put forward to us was to either accept it as non, because they tried somebody to report it for hate speech. There was nothing hateful about it. It was actually dude reporting facts, injustice in the system. But yeah, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got to want to weigh in. Oh, that's racist. You can't do that. You're a white supremacist. And this man was actually sticking up for a black male that was wrongly convicted. And the options that was given was we could either reject the appeal, and if we rejected the appeal, it would have been marked, the video would have been marked as not safe for work. And his channel would be marked not safe for work. His content wouldn't be removed. His channel wouldn't be removed because he didn't violate no laws. Yeah, I think it's like 25 mine tokens or tokens, whatever it is. So, you know, reviewed the content. I hit accept because there was nothing. The complaint was there was nothing racial about it. There was no hate speech in it. Then went over there today. Dude's channel's still up. It's not marked as not safe for work. It worked. That jury system worked. But there's two sides of a coin to this. Because you get a group of people. Hello, Dagger Spells. You get a group of people like we see on all these other platforms who are constantly attacking, constantly reporting. Then we end up with they're going to hit the reject button. They're not even going to view the content, see if it contained hate speech. But the funny thing, Mr. Anderson, was not even 5 minutes after I did that jury, I got hit with another jury duty for another piece of content from the very same person. So while everybody's talking about this stuff's not happening over here or over there, it's happening everywhere. There's no safe spot for us to go. DLive's not the answer. I'm still waiting to get my response where the hell my video live stream from yesterday went that got completely removed. So, not going to be jumping on that bandwagon. I'm going to use it. But anybody that knows, like I said, I have internet connections issues, not so much connection issues. I only can up my uploads one, or not, no, my download. It's 5 and 1. So you need a 3 to be able to use streaming software. Minimum of a 3. I can't multi. I can't do the things I like doing. And Mr. Anderson, I actually like what the mines have in place, but I can see and I know it will be abused. Because if you got people on there that are just already attacking people, saying it's their content's hate speech, eventually they're going to end up on juries. So is it a perfect system? No. I've been starting to get around. I just got back Memorial Day from North Carolina, so I'm still not even unpacked. I'm having to re-update the software and stuff, get re-familiarized, so I'm still kind of not in the game. Because it sucked having to use your phone as a hotspot or a tether. It just didn't allow me to do anything while I was down there. Then I was pretty much all work, no play. But if anybody that's listening wants to join in, this is an open topic debate talking about censorship. I mean, what can we do? The answer's not running. I've been pretty straightforward on that one. Oh yeah, Mr. Anderson, I don't know when you caught my stream. Here, let me just bring this back up. I want to show you what Hangouts is getting ready to go bye-bye. So you can spread the word. Pop-up I got on Hangouts. YouTube going away with the Hangout on air. Imagine that, right? We're talking about censorship. The game don't change. The fact is, if we run, we're not going to be able to stop this. They're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. We got to come up with a different solution, a different answer to this problem. Some of that is staying and standing up and fighting, bringing people in to conversations just like this, listening to their opinions, their ideas of what we can do, what we can change. Like I said, I kind of like how the mines got it set up. It's fixing it so people aren't getting suspended, but it's still going to have that issue. What happens when you get a jury of those that are claiming and reporting people? I can't personally answer that. We'd have to talk to the mine creators on that. I'm not that I don't know them that well. I'd probably have to talk to Jaffe over at Pirate Radio Podcast and have him pose the question to him. Just like what I see on D Live is it's kind of cool. Here, let me show you. Let me pull it up, Mr. Oh crap! I probably should stop streaming. or stop us screen sharing. It's under content policy. Ensure that decisions are made as democratically as possible. We develop a jury system based on the Santa Clara principles to review appeals. The jury consists of 12 active users whose objective is to vote on appeals. If 75% or more agree with the appeal, the administrative action is overturned. For more information about the jury system, read our blog. Let's just copy the link to that and put it in chat. For those that want to check that part out, and here's the link to the content policies over there. Of course. Well, my question is, what's going to happen? Say that 12-member jury, half that jury or more than half that jury becomes the point where it's the people that are reporting the content. Because then it's going to be people's content's going to be just censored, or they're going to be marked not safe for work. Then their channel's going to get marked not safe for work. I don't know, it's a slippery slope. I like it, but I can see you got to play devil's advocate here. You got to weigh the pros and cons. I can see where it can eventually be abused, because you're taking active users. See, user reports content or channel. Mine staff accepts or rejects report. So what I ended up having the jury was accepted, which I don't know why, because if you watch the video and listen to what was being said, there was no reason for it to even be reported. Users notified and given a chance to appeal. If appealed, a jury of Minds users votes on the appeal. And it goes on to list strike of offenses. See, I kind of like this part right here. Untagged, not safe for work posts. 3 strikes required for each individual not safe for work category. Strike 1, warnings. Strike 2, second warning. Strike 3, full channel marked with not safe for work category. Harassment and spam. Now I agree with this part. There's no place for spam. There's no place for harassment or bullying, any type. First strike's a warning. Second strike's a warning. Third strike will be a ban. I agree with that. Spam may result in an immediate ban if determined to be malicious or a bot. Immediate ban offenses. Illegal. Terrorism, pedophilia, extortion, fraud, revenge porn, sex trafficking. I think we can all agree on those things. They have no place on the internet. Personal confidential information, doxing. I fully agree on that. Malware, obvious. Token manipulation, yeah. Impersonation, yes. Incites a true threat of violence, yes. You should be immediately banned for those offenses. No questions asked. Those are common sense. There's a difference between threat of violence and expression. It goes back to that. Expression is not action. When you take that expression and turn it into action, then it can no longer be supported by the Constitution, depending on what that action is and the intents of the consequences thereof. And this is pretty much what down here is just dealing with the crypto aspect of it. But it is a very awesome... Well, shit, I like this. we've got statistics. Last 30 days. Action taken by the mines, 685. Appeals, 177. Actions overturned, 82. Now, other than that, we don't know what the content was. Other than I know what I viewed yesterday, which was 2. So, 2 of those were overturned. So yesterday it's 82 today. Well, it's 82 now, so. I don't care where we go. I don't know how many people said Gab was the answer. Look what happened there. You know, there's so many reasons why this is happening, why we're having censorship. Some of it is dealing with corporations coming in, advertisers coming in. Then these platforms don't have their own platform. They're relying off a hosting service such as Bluehost, GoDaddy. And those hosting platforms answer to the advertisers. And they force, as we've seen with Gab, being forced to take down content, or we're given 24 hours, take it down, or we'll take your platform. We'll terminate your website. To where they were left in no situation. In this case, the guy whose post it was took it down himself. It should have never came to that. No, maybe some places can start looking at this system. It's not perfect. Like I said, I can see some cons to it, but it's not just kicking somebody off because somebody don't like their content. And I've said this in the past few podcasts I've done. The responsibility is us, not the platform. The platform probably wouldn't have to take any action if people would quit complaining, crying, whining, and reporting crap that shouldn't be reported. You know, I have a big issue with Twitter. I've got a bigger issue with Twitter than I do Facebook. And I can't stand Facebook. My issue is, you have no problem banning somebody just like that, faster than I can snap my finger, who has a different view. But if it's a pedophile, it took us a damn week to get a pedophile off there. With, I know, over 10,000 people reporting daily that profile. I am going to keep it on it because it's got my interest. I never thought had to participate in a jury. And you can reject it, guys. You don't have to do it. You can actually reject it. But I wasn't going to reject something that I wanted to see for myself. You know, there becomes a point in time where we got to draw the line. We got to say, enough's enough. We're not running. We're going to take a stand. And we're going to bring more attention to this. If we can start putting our differences aside. Not, oh, I don't like how he does his stream. It doesn't matter how he does his stream. If he's in our same group, and it doesn't even matter what niche and group or community you're in, it's affecting everybody. There was posts just this week. Finally, somebody wants to tell the truth that even people on the left are getting suspended for talking about pro-life, pro-choice, which we're not going to get into. We save that debate for some other time. We shouldn't be even having that debate because it's about choice. Not my choice. You know, just like our freedom of speech should never be left up for debate. It should always be protected. And it is our due diligence to stand up for others and protect them no matter what their belief, practice, ethnicity, race, gender, or whatever label we want to give them, no matter what it is, it's our due diligence to stand up for them as American citizens. Those of us that claim to believe and respect and honor the Constitution, it's our due diligence to make sure freedom of speech, our Second Amendment, all of our rights are protected, and we're standing up for everybody. And that seems to be the problem. Can't get people together. Nobody can put their differences aside. Some people can't put egos aside. Some people has this fear that, oh, you're going to take my subscribers, my followers. Wow. You're placing all that above the Constitution, above what you claim to believe in, claim to talk about. Sorry, guys. It doesn't work that way. We gotta have these debates. We gotta be calling people out, bringing this stuff to the table, put it in forefront. Yeah, they're gonna do everything to keep us from thinking we're reaching people. Let me show you something. I'll just go to the last video I did, which would have been the one I did from here. This one right here. This was the gathering I did yesterday. 880 views. I only got 8 on YouTube for that very same video. I mean, I've got videos on here. It's got over thousands of views in my group. The statistics don't show it over on YouTube. I told you guys that a long time ago. I can go over here to Sons and Daughters of Liberty, bring up my analytics. They don't match the analytics that YouTube's showing me. I did want to come here for a reason anyway. I know, and got to be careful here too, because present similar views that I have, but I've added a few more live stream tabs. Pirate Radio Podcast, of course, it's been there for a little bit. Sword.9 live streams. Free Spirit Press News live streams. You know, if you ask me, I'm more than happy to create a tab and give you a spot to put when you're go live to put it up. Because I've been this has kind of been growing a bit, which is shocking. It's kind of laid dormant for a while. You know, everywhere we go, we're going to have this censorship. It's about reaching out to people, pointing it out, bringing it up, you know. I posted a tweet last week. This is what got me started on this really good. This is what brought me back to streaming, because I was done with it. I was talking to a person about something I investigated while I was in North Carolina, dealing with the OS campus. Well, the campus just happens to consist of the whole town. Now, they call it a city, but it's a town. Because there's no place, there's not even a campus for real. It's that small. I mean, it's in the mountains, top of a plateau. There's barely any room to park. I mean, when they went to a Division 1A school, they still don't got housing to house the people. Why? Because there's no place to build housings to house them. But the city limits is considered the campus. And what happens is, because of what took place and happened at Kent State, I'm not going to get too much into this, but this was the discussion we was having on Twitter. Me and KG 2017. She brought up the Kent State, and I started talking about what I witnessed and seen, what was going on the campus, how the suicides aren't being reported, which are happening there's anywhere between 3 to 4 a week. The rapes aren't being reported. It took almost 7 months for one just to get finally the police to take over. There's a reason why this is happening. And all this stuff is being not put in the crime statistic of the town. Because if it did, the crime rate would skyrocket and boom. So nobody knows about this because it's hidden. Because of what took place in Kent State. When the National Guard came onto Kent State, we got killed. That there's states put laws into place forever preventing that from ever happening. But it got abused. Like all good things, it's a good idea. And in theory, it was a great idea. But in practice, you'll get to come there and find a way to abuse it. Oh, now we don't have to report these statistics of rape. We don't have to report it to the police because we now have our own police. So therefore, we don't have to go to the local authorities. So much stuff is going on these campuses that should be criminal, that should be reported. We were talking about that. Next day I came back on. She was suspended to the point where you can't talk about this stuff. They don't want you to know, and I'm sure I know how it happened. It's BS. Nobody should be afraid to report and talk about these situations. What's going on these campuses is ridiculous. And it's just not our campuses. We can go to the school systems. You know, if it wasn't for independent citizen journalists, many of us wouldn't know about these kids that are being molested and raped by teachers inside our local schools. Almost every week there's at least one or two cases that some citizen journalist found and shares with people. You know, I'm not big on talking about big things like what happened on Pinterest, where a whistleblower lost his job. But a whistleblower should never be afraid to come forth and tell the truth. A company should be held accountable for it if they fire them. It's ridiculous. It's a way to try to quiet them, censor them, make them fear. If you go tell people, you're going to be fired. That's another form of censorship. There's nothing wrong with telling a story, telling the truth, presenting your opinions and views. In fact, you should be every day. It's not. We might not always agree about your opinions and views, but we're going to learn from each other. I might be wrong. I might have learned something wrong, and your opinion and your view might change what I thought I once knew. That's why it's important to protect free speech. Protect people that are on these platforms that are using it to practice their constitutional right. And I do get it. These corporations are saying, well, this just isn't the United States. We're catering to the world. Yep. And we've seen the dangers of places like Europe trying to crack down on what can be said on the internet. That's dictatorship. We're not Europe. Let me repeat that. We're not Europe, just like we're not Israel. That's going to offend people. But it's the truth. The only alliance and allegiance we should have is to our United States of America. You are an American citizen. Remember that. It's cool to support people. But we've got congressmen that have completely sold their alliance to other countries, trying to push other countries' laws into ours, and that isn't right. You know, we should be more focused about what's happening here in our own backyards. We've got sex trafficking going on. We've got drug epidemic that's out of this world. We got a homeless rate that's insane. We have unsecured borders that they want to put those people first before they put the very homeless American citizens, many of which are vets. Oh, wait, you start talking about that, you start getting censored on platforms. You'll get suspended for 30 days on Facebook if you do it? I should know. It just happened. Just came off a suspension. You know what's funny, guys? For all you guys that complain about YouTube, I've been on here for a while. Sons and daughters are at least 3 years old. On 4. Smiley is like 5 years. So no, actually longer than that. It was '09. I've had Smiley's YouTube channel since '09. That was for gaming. You guys know video taken down? None. Wait, I've had one strike and it was on Smiley's. It was for copyright. And I actually won the appeal and the people said I could use the music. But that was like back in '09. From that point on, I learned a valuable lesson. Don't monetize. I have not monetized this channel, Drew Lima's channel. Never have had an issue with video being taken down, a strike given. And I also learned, hey, go read the terms of service. Guess what, guys? I went and spent 2 hours reading over D-Live shit. Guess what? It's the same as Google's, YouTube's, Facebook's, Twitter's, Gab's, WordPress, and every other platform out there. They all copy the same TOS. So, all you think it's cool to be playing music over there? Yeah, that ain't gonna last long. It's right there in their terms of service. You better have written permission. And you gotta mail it to them. There's no true answer, but everybody wants to run. Screw YouTube. I had a conversation with dude on Minds about this. He goes, you need to go over to BitChute. Well, BitChute does me absolutely no good. I can't live stream there. It takes, for videos I do, it takes almost 8 to 10 hours to upload there. Not an answer for me. I'd rather go to archive.org and dump my stuff. At least I know there. It's safe. It'll always be there. And it allows me to still have my links, so I have backups for everything. And just because I named those channels, best believe, I have backups for that too. I've got channels you guys haven't even seen because I haven't even brought them live, but guess what? They're all ready to go. They're all verified. I hope that I'll never have to use any of them. They've got their own email accounts separated from this stuff. Why did I do that? Because I'm not going to run. I'm going to stand and fight. You try to silence me, that's the biggest mistake you'll ever make. You know, there's that saying about backing someone in the corner. You're not going to like it. When you start playing with my constitutional rights and the people around me, the people that I follow, even the ones that I don't like, I still have an issue, and that's going to get my blood boiling. It should get every one of your guys' blood boiling. We should be seeing a lot more topics addressing this very issue. And what I'm slowly doing right now is making my rounds from every platform I'm on that I can actually stream on. Or stream to. Did it from the mines yesterday. It's where I started. Today it's YouTube. I'm going to try tomorrow to do Periscope. Or use Twitter's new thing. New device they got, so I don't have to use Periscope. But I can only do one at a time, and I got to pick the right time during early morning or late evening to where I get the best connection to be able to use Streamlabs. Because these issues need addressed. They need to address to all of our audiences. I'm on so many different platforms. And I reach so many different audiences. You know, that's what you guys should be thinking about. These platforms are tools for you. It ain't about running. It's about staying on these platforms, I have a faithful audience base. You know, I don't care about numbers. You know why? Because I've got quality. The people that follow me, I get the interactions in the chat room. I get to converse with them. That's what it's about. It's what it should be about. Not numbers, not quantity. Quantity is greed. Makes you no better than these platform owners. We've got all. I mean, I talked about this on D Live today, on Ramblings of the Chaotic Mind. I did one over there. Had all kinds of headaches, but I finally got a stream to run somewhat smoothly. Took a couple tries. You know, people get caught in the label game. Oh, somebody hit the dislike button. I'm glad. Thank you. Somebody disliked my last video I did. Man, I was so happy. You know why? Because I figured somebody. I made them think. I made them. I did my job. That's our job. Our job's to get people to think. People need to start thinking for themselves. Start to question things. We need to stop being so easily offended. I mean, I've kind of had to step away from Twitter today and yesterday. As much stuff that I've seen that's been just downright malicious. Those people don't get suspended. But I tell you what, if I'm dumb enough to get myself triggered and bite and react, I will get suspended on the spot. Why? Because I would have violated their so-called TOS, even though the very post that I comment on was violating it. You know, and I also try to make it a habit every day now to make sure. You know, I shared this on Twitter, hasn't got one retweet. It's like nobody cares anymore if somebody gets suspended. Are we become that numb? Kind of hoping it. They've reinstated the account. Nope. Account suspended. It's actually somebody I've followed for about over a year. Never seen them bash anybody. Good conversation. Yeah, they talk about stuff. They're more conservative. I don't care. I don't care if you're liberal, Democrat, Republican. It's a label. It should have no meaning, but we give it meaning. This is the person I was talking about. Their account's been suspended. She's followed me over almost 2 years. You know, I'm kind of slut following people back because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I've watched my Twitter feed followers in the last week go up, down, making no sense, which instantly told me I'm probably being shadow banned somewhere. Log out at 96, come back, I'm at 192. Come back an hour later, back to 196. I didn't gain no new followers, don't got no notifications for it. Glitch in the system. Easy to pick out. So, instantly knew I was being shadow banned. Oh, I've been a little too vocal on Twitter, trying to control my content. Constantly seeing stuff removed from my feeds that I've retweeted or liked so I can come back later. I've gotten to the point where I just grab a notepad now. I see something I like, I click on it, copy the URL down onto a notepad and come back to it later when I got time. Because more than likely, if something's got my interest, it's probably going to come up missing from my Twitter feed, from my notifications. Shit's ridiculous. We shouldn't ever have to worry about that. You know, I sat here, I kind of enjoy listening to Tim Pool, Tim Cast, or Subverse, whatever he wants to go by. But did he dropped the ball. He had the chance to finally put Jack on the spot, and he didn't. The first question I would have opened up with, you're so quick at suspending this group of people, but yet this was the second time that I've encountered it, and both times it's taken almost a week to remove a pedophile's page. Why is that? Are you placing pedophiles above people's freedom of speech, where a legit law, is being broken? That should have been the very first question out of his mouth. And it should have kept on going right from there. There's no place for censorship on these platforms. And, there's no place in our Congress for Congress to dictate Constitution. Their job is to uphold and protect the Constitution, not interpret it. That's our Supreme Court's job. I mean, just like I don't agree with supposedly the executive order that Trump signed about the burning of the American flag. I find it very disrespectful. Personally, I hate the fact that it happens. But our Supreme Court has been very clear on the matter as a constitutional matter. It is a form of expression. Therefore, it is protected under our First Amendment. Therefore, I don't have to like it, but I gotta respect it because they're not breaking a law. But I have every right to voice my opinion about the matter and how much I dislike it and find it very disrespectful to every soldier that has served, every man and woman that is a first responder, police, and every U.S. citizen that firmly believes in our Constitution, what this country is supposed to stand for. I find it very disrespectful to every one of us when that happens. But it is a form of expressive protest. Much as I don't like it. Just like the debates. You can't have this monument here. The reason those monuments are there is a reminder so we don't repeat that history. So you want to censor history. You want to dictate that this was evil, hate. No, it's a lesson for every generation that follows never to repeat it. Because they don't want to teach the real history in our schools anymore. Then everybody wants to talk about, oh, I'm going to sue you. You called me a man. Last time I checked, your DNA states that you are. It's a very simple ruling here, guys. Your DNA dictates what you are. Respect that, and I'll respect your decision to, you want to be treated and called a woman. Okay, I can respect that. But respect the fact that when it comes to putting your application, I don't want to see that junk on my application. You're either a man or a woman. What was you born as? Can't change your DNA. Maybe that's what we need to put on our... What was your DNA? What is your DNA? Male, female. Just like I don't agree with having to say, what race are you? What's your ethnicity? I'm an American citizen. That's all you need to know. We're all descended from immigrants that legally came into this country because there was 10,000s upon 10,000s. I think it was when it was all said and done, up to millions that were rejected entry to this country because of they were criminals, they had diseases. There was no coming into our borders freely. You still had to go through immigration. You still had to become a member of this country. Those laws are still in the books to this day. Respect them, honor them, and abide by them, and follow them. We shouldn't be debating this. But yet, if we start talking about it, yep, somebody's going to report us, or somebody on the platform that's supposed to be an admin is going to ban us because it goes against their views and opinions. Know what I got to say about that? Take those views and opinions and shove me up your ass. Because I have different ones. I'll respect yours, you respect mine. But you better respect the fact that I can say what I want. I can throw the F word around all I want. I try to be respectful and not do it. But sometimes you get caught in the moment. Sometimes colorful language seems to work. Don't know why, but for some people, it's the only thing you can get their attention with. And truth be told, a lot of these people, it's easy to get them shut up. Just raise your voice. Be shocked how many. As soon as a person actually raises their voice, they go quiet. How did we get to this point? I mean, honestly, how did we get to this point where anything you say could get you banned, suspended? It's going to trigger and offend somebody. I mean, Be Rich had it right, honestly. Whatever happened to sticks and stones will break my bones and words will never hurt me. Because every time you let somebody manipulate you, get your goat, what is the other terms, trigger you, might as well say, with a word, you give them power over you. Fact. You know, our forefathers had a bunch of stuff right. They wanted us to be free. They wanted us to have the ability to choose what we wanted to say, do, practice what religious beliefs we wanted to practice. They wanted us to be free to be ourselves, unique. That's what this country is founded on. Why? Maybe we need to go back farther in history to our founding fathers, forefathers. Why they came to this country. Many of them came to flee the persecution of the church in Europe. Because they were all deemed heathens, heretics, and pagans. Criminals. Because they opposed the Catholic Church. They had different opinions. And by the way, those three words I just said that everybody wants to miscue as something evil all have a root origin of one word and one origin where it originated. It was from the Catholic Church. It means free folk, free thinkers. They wanted to control the common folk. Research it. I did. I've actually written papers on it on academia. History is a tool. It is a lesson. It shows us good things that's happened. Civil rights movement, the original feminist movement, where it was about equality for the women, equal pay, equal rights. If it wasn't for our freedom of speech and our Constitution, those things would have never happened. I don't think it's even possible for those things to happen in this day and age. Now, where it should be easier for those things to happen with the internet, be able to reach more people. More I see out of this, the only thing that gets reached is the bad from this. Anything that's good gets trampled down or censored. Is that the world then? Well, screw the world. Is that the United States? Is that what it means to be American? To have all your rights, liberties, and freedoms trampled by corporations, by corrupt government? Where you draw that line? When are you going to start taking a stand and stop running? I mean, if you guys want to run, go. But I'm going to tell you this. If you run, don't come crying to me. Don't come asking for help. Because if it reaches that point where it becomes too late, that door's closed. You made your choice. You made your bed. Lie in it. Because we can't unite on something simple as this, something that should have meaning to every single last one of you. We'll never be able to unite when it comes down to when it's really needed. And if we can unite right now, we could prevent worse things from happening. And that's why they push the division. That's why they do the censorship crap that happens on all sides. But they don't want you to see that. They don't want to tell you that. Because if you they tell you that, then you realize it's just not one group of people. Or it's not one label. It's everybody. Anybody that starts questioning something. I don't care what you are. To me, you're an American. After that, you're a human being. That's all I need to know about you. I got friends around the world. I got family in Brazil. I got friends in Serbia, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Europe. Every country's got their got their problems, some worse than others. Just like today, I've been waiting to hear from a real close friend. Had to go to West Africa on business. Worst place I'd ever want to see anybody go right now, because I got a friend in Africa, in South Africa, and he's bad. And he's white. It's even worse for him. It's going to be worse for her when she gets there, which should be here in a couple hours. Because she is white. We've let race become the ultimate division. They pushed that for years. When there shouldn't be nothing about race. You're a human being. We should be treating each other equally, with respect. But we got political parties that'll push that. We got groups of people now that, oh, you're a supremacist. That tells me how I got called a supremacist a few times this year. I had to laugh. Then I had to clearly tell them, you know how stupid you are? That tells me how much you know about white supremacists. I could never be. I'm mixed. Why? Because I actually have friends that are supremacists. See? Can't judge everybody. I treat people as they're human beings. I respect what they believe. I might not agree with it, but something made us friends. Because maybe that's the way they only act when they're in their meetings or online. I see how they upraise their kids, treat other people in the communities. That's how you should be looking upon a person. I mean, some of these people you never even know. It's quite simple because they're in every group. I hear people say, oh, it's only the Republicans or it's just the Democrats, which is actually, anybody's done their research, know about the Democratic Party. But the truth is, it's just not them. They're in all groups. Most of you don't even know. So, can't be group. I mean, we got bad apples in every group. I hear people, oh, don't defend him. He's a convicted felon. But did you know that convicted felon's like what we call 1%? A person that managed to get out of the system that's meant to keep them in the system. A person that's got his life together, beat the odds, and has become a productive role model in society. But yet you want to judge him by his past actions, not the person he's become. Much as we talk about history, our past is what makes us who we are today. Our mistakes, our shortcomings, our failures, we learn from them and we try not to repeat them. It's about experience. The more we experience, the more we learn, the more we grow. But yet, in this day and age, it's like maybe people need to lose all their freedoms before they actually understand. Because I tell you what, that ex-felon understands. Because he lost everything. And yes, he may have deserved it at that time. But once he got out and became a free person, and became a productive role model, and didn't go back, that's what he should be, a role model for how change can happen in a person's life. Right now, the only change I see is people running. That's not the answer. Just like the guy. I mean, I respected his opinion. Is about censorship. Leave. Okay, if I leave, I'm allowing that atrocity to keep happening. I'm a part of the problem if I leave, instead of part of a solution, or at least a role model what to do. Take a stand. But nobody wants to. Everybody's gotten scared, lost their backbones, whatever. And how dare you, especially when it comes to constitutional matters. Bill of Rights matters. Dealing with other American citizens that need our help. Fellow humans that need our help. I can't focus what's going on over in another place in the country when I've got so much crap going on here. I look at the cesspool, California. That's what it is. It's a cesspool. But you know what? Who's suffering the most there? All the homeless. It's insane. Many of which are vets, which is even worse. But I hear politicians screaming for protect the immigration, protect the illegals, give them health care, give them housing. What about the damn homeless in your backyard? Many of which are homeless vets. To all of the ones that want to scream or talk about the abortion, okay, go research foster care and foster homes. Go listen to the horror stories. No, many of you don't even have the stomach to listen to some of those horror stories of what happens. So is there another viable solution? Yeah, family. But I've heard the horror stories there too. Many of which these foster kids end up in the sex trade. Nobody wants to talk about the college kids that go missing from campus. And nobody talks about it, nobody reports it. Like I said, I learned a lot in the past year. Enough that it really got my blood boiling. But other thing else I learned, that a lot of our young ones, the ones we said weren't awake, the ones we listened to other people tell us that, they're very much awake. Shot surprisingly awake. Talking about these issues amongst themselves. Why? Because many of us that do these live streams have written them off. Sad, ain't it? Sometimes we forget we need to get out and experience things, interact. Many of them have the very same fears we have about what's going on these platforms. A place to speak. You know what else shocked me? A lot of these college students, they're not on Facebook, they're not on Twitter. They're actually over on the Minds and other platforms like it because they can't deal with the censorship, the bombarding of the Facebook, the Minds, or Twitter. They don't interact in our chat rooms because they're afraid they say something they might come off as stupid because they don't understand and they'll get ridiculed by the chat. Many of these things are things you guys all should be thinking about. Maybe it's time we stop saying what we think we know because we heard other people constantly tell us this is it this way and go out and experience it for ourselves. That's why few places I'm on, I put a nice little new quote. Don't be afraid to step outside your box. Only then can you truly experience and see what life really is. Which sometimes we get caught in our little boxes, our little niches, our little groups, and we start becoming blind to the things around us. What's really going on? We need Sometimes we need that little diversity, that little group of people that got a completely different ideology, mindset, beliefs than we do. Yeah, it might get us angry while we're listening to it, but it eventually starts making us question it, breaks us out of that box. I mean, I'll be the first person to tell you life isn't easy. What time is it? 9:25. For those that are actually watching, that don't know, Dabu 7 is live on D Live. Because I know some of you guys watch him. I'm probably going to wrap this up anyway. Like I said, no one's message. I'll double check one more time over where I've got posted. First, it's easier. It's easier and I don't have to worry about quickly hitting something, so because I'm not changing my settings. That is not Gab. You know, and as you guys can see, I'm on Gab, and I've talked quite bad about them, about what they did. It's another platform, another place I can reach people. And no notifications and messages there. Yeah, why not? Post over here. I don't expect much from over here. This is more family and friends, but I will get notification for the sons and daughters group over here. The only thing I expect over here is getting suspended first time I post a video. It goes against what people over here think they know. You know, I'd like to get back to talking about some real important issues, but the most important issue to me, beat every one of you about, is what we're going to do about the censorship. What are we going to do about this? For some of you, you've already decided. It's just time to move on. It's not the answer. That's what they want you to do. You know, let's get the truth. Do you think Zuckerberg cares about what happens to Facebook? No. He's made his billions. He's rich set for the rest of his life. He don't really care. You know, it's just like the guy that created MySpace. He knew what was coming. He made his money to where he knew he could live the rest of his life happy. And this is straight from his own admission. Then I sold it because I saw what was coming. Just like I learned when I started building websites, building platforms, having to sit down with meetings with CEOs, lawyers, business lawyers, having to answer all the questions. then learning that no matter what you do, where you put your server, you're never going to have what you're looking for. They won't allow it. Straight from lawyers' mouths. They might let you get away with it a little bit, but then they're going to force you out. And if you, basically it was put this way, and if you don't cease and desist, you'll just be no more. That was the gist of the conversation. That's why we stopped. There was no point going any farther, investing any more money into a situation that it couldn't be done. No matter where you went, if you put the server anywhere else in the world, because you don't have to put it here in the United States. There's loopholes, like I said. You can learn them. You can put it over in Canada, but then you're bound by Canadian laws. See the issue? There's no win. Why? Because nobody stands up. Half people don't even know about half the things. And that's a shame. I mean, I kind of got to admit here of late, I never thought I would actually come to actually enjoy being on the mines, because I mean the crypto thing is a big turnoff for me. But I'm having more fun over here right now than I am anywhere else. I'm not worried about content. I get the interactions I want. My group's growing. My posts are getting more views. And if I want to do a live stream, all I got to do is open this up. I don't even have to do a live stream. I can just interact with my group members. Which I am actually going to close this out. Because this thing gave me wreaked havoc yesterday. But I'll open up long enough to show you. This is their little app. Like I said, if you want to stream from it, and I'll show you right there, here. Here. I should be fine as long as I don't hit the share screen button. Start live stream. It's a beta. But unfortunately, you only get one option here. You got to enter your YouTube live stream code. But it's another tool. And that's where I did my live stream yesterday from, was from here. And I was amazed. I had better quality. The whole stream stayed in the green on the YouTube side, which never happens from Hangouts. And the nice thing, if I don't want to live stream, people that I'm subscribed to, friends, or people that join this group, they'll see flash and they can come in here and join me, and we can have a conversation right here. Awesome tool. You know, sometimes we dish judgment out a little too quick on sites. Might have been guilty with that on the lines, but the fact still remains. I was right. They do censor. Bree was right. And let me end this before I screw things up. You know, but there's no answer. I'm still not leaving Facebook. Yeah, I'll take the chances of getting suspended every other month or every time I decide to post a video over there to my group. It used to be I'd just get suspended from the group. Now they just go after get me for the whole thing, which ain't right. But in the end, what are you going to do? I mean, is the way I'm doing it right? Using all these platforms as a tool to reach different audiences? Some could say no. The only thing I can say, that's the only thing I know how to do and what to do. Because many of these people don't follow me on YouTube, don't follow me on Twitter. So it's a different audience, different people. And for me, that's important. Being able to reach a new audience, different group of people, interacting with them. I think that should be, as a streamer, should be tops on our priority list, not the numbers of how many followers and subscribers you have. You know, I'm blessed to say I have 71 followers on YouTube. It's amazing because almost all of them interact from time to time, come in my streams, interact in the chat. And no, of course, I'm suffering the consequences for being gone for about a year not streaming. But they're slowly starting to come back. It was nice to see Dagger Spells in, which I do understand. Both of them will be over at Dabu7s on DLive. Go check him out. He puts out some good stuff. So does B Rich. So does Mr. A. And I can't even go on the list. I just found a streamer here on the Mayans that is on YouTube that is putting out some awesome content. In fact, and I want to give a shout out to, oh crap, I can't remember right now. A new subscriber. Where'd I put this? I just shared this thing. Of course, I've shared a bunch of stuff today. Another great channel, the MAGA Coalition. They multi-stream everywhere: Periscope, DLive, YouTube, Facebook. I think Facebook. Be Rich, of course. Dabu. All right, where'd it go? Yeah, no justice for Phillips and Pieter of Colony. Her name is. Damn it. They're gonna make me go to the YouTube channel, aren't they? I don't have to go that far. Yeah, that's kind of the other thing is I wish they'd show the people. Just because I retweet it or reshare this, oh, I know why it's showing it this way because I shared it from YouTube. Brandy TX. It's basically Brandy from Texas. She has a YouTube channel. Check her out. Just stumbled or came across her yesterday on this very post, which is very interesting. And there's so much talented people out there that's trying to reach people, bring them the truth, bring them information. You know, and it's nice to see platforms that are allowing that. Even though, like I said, I can see the jury little thing getting abused. It happens with anything that, you know, we're always trying to get something that is just, that'll work. Sometimes it don't work the way we anticipate and hope. Sometimes people find a way to abuse it. But thus far, I am happy with the way how they're doing it here. I mean, unless you commit something illegal that is deemed illegal, basically a criminal crime, you're not losing your channel, you're not being banned, you're not getting your content suspended. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to get it marked not safe for work. I mean, if you're dropping the F word and various other colorful language, mark your stuff not safe for work. Show the respect that it's due. You know, just because I don't have kids and I don't have to worry about that doesn't mean that somebody that listens to my podcast isn't at work or watching their kids. I don't think they want their kids to be hearing the F F-bomb being dropped or talking about transgenderism and gender issues. You know, that's not appropriate for kids. There's different stages in children's life where topics like that should be introduced. Young kids, no. Teenagers, yes, then we can start talking to them about that. But it's our responsibility to know what kind of content we're doing. And knowing to be respectful. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If anybody wants to join in on this topic, like I said, the next one I'm going to try to do probably from Facebook or Twitter. Like I said, I got a busy week this week. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. First off, getting my truck back on the road. Then getting myself finished, moved back in here and unpacked, which might even change. That might change come after this week, and I might be moving again. I don't know. I'm living my life right now. I'm putting me first. Something I haven't done in a very long time. I've always put others first. So yes, there's probably going to be less videos or less live streams. Maybe I'll upload some. I don't know. It just depends on the time. Depends what I'm in the mood of. But I'm not going to drop this issue right now with the censorship. So if you guys don't want to hear about censorship, next couple weeks, you might want to just ignore my notifications. Because that's what I'm going to be talking about. And there's probably going to be more done here on YouTube. Imagine that. My 1,000 views have been met. Not sure. Well, that's for the one that had 880 views. Like I said, I've been kind of patiently here waiting for a message from my friend. Make sure they made it there safe. And yes, something else. I probably should have opened up with this, but I'm rusty and I kind of like getting to the point of things. So I have a tendency to forget. But I am looking for a permanent co-host or two. And maybe a couple more managers to add to the channel. That way we can keep fresh content going over here. Different people's opinions and views as well, just not mine. It's always what I wanted for this channel, and I'm going to start working for the things that I want. You know, I want a permanent co-host and maybe a couple permanent hosts. Since you guys, I don't know if you guys did realize you can do that. You can assign managers to your YouTube channel that they can actually come on and stream right from your YouTube channel under your brand. So, you know, I've already got two managers that have access. I don't know if either one are ever going to do any live streams or post here, because the one we kind of had a falling out. Doesn't matter. He's still family and always will be family, and he always knows that sons and daughters are just as much as his as it is mine. It's just as much as your guys' as it is mine. Sons and daughters has always been open to everybody. If you want to come on, talk, fine. I guess I learned a little bit from Pirate. That little time I co-hosted on Pirate Radio podcast. I didn't enjoy being co-host, obviously, but I enjoyed be able to work with somebody. You know, for me, it's got to be somebody that I can click with, that I gel with. Doesn't mean we have to share the same opinions and views. In fact, I prefer we don't. But we got to be able to get along. It's got to be that connection. That's what I'm looking for in a co-host. So if anybody's interested, shoot me a message. You can find me at the links below. In fact, I think my email's in that somewhere down there. If not, you can go to the YouTube page, my YouTube channel, go to the About Me and click Show email. And you can contact me right straight from my email. Things are about change. I want to make some changes here. As I stated earlier, the smoke, but it gave me a chance to experience something. Having guests on, I loved it. It'd probably been cool if I wasn't smoking and drinking, or should I say drinking? That was the issue. But it was meant to be fun, and it was fun, honestly. It's just not where I want this channel, what I want for this channel. That might come back in the future on a channel by itself, because it was fun. But I do still plan on having a couple guests that were originally supposed to be on it join me here on Sons and Daughters. A couple of them, it's going to be talking about the stuff that I'm gonna have to protect their identity. You're definitely not going to see their faces, because I don't want them getting kicked out of college for coming on here and telling you guys what they've seen take place, what's happened. That's still going to be done. Then I'm definitely going to bring my dude Kai on. If all you guys want to call me fucking racist. Yeah, I'll show you how much of a racist I am not. Kai's I'd call him a brother. And you tell you what, when I first met him, I thought he was like 25, 20, mid 20s to 30s. Um, and in a way, it reminded me of how I was brought up. You know, a young black kid that, wow, he blew my mind back. It was amazing to get to know, amazing to call him a friend and a brother, because he got it. He understood. Like I said, it was a wake-up call the last year on a lot of things, on the personal level and on a spiritual level and on the knowledge and wisdom side of things. So, truly blessed, even though this year's been crap up until the past couple of weeks. But we all deal with our personal crap differently. I have the bad habit of bottling things up, and it gets me in trouble. Something I still have to work on and make changes in my life. The one thing I'll never change is defending the Constitution, defending our Bill of Rights, defending what it means to be a true American, defending those that can't defend themselves. It's been ingrained in me since birth. So with that said, you guys all have a happy evening. Be safe during the work week. And to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. You all have a good night. Now I gotta find all these windows open. The Hangouts. Oh yeah, one more thing. Just so you guys can know in closing, for those that don't know, I want you guys to see. One more time. This Hangout on Air is live. Hangouts on Air is going away later this year. For quick streaming, try youtube.com/webcam. One of our best tools is going to be no more. You guys all have a good evening. Let me slide this back out here so it's not doing all that crap.